This is episode 18 of me sitting down once a week to talk about life and business as a 26-year-old in Australia. Welcome back to Monday Diaries.
Take your demise and went to my side and push by the feelings I had to decide. How you created became the most weighted. I got $5 to keep me the spot. Yeah.
Good morning. This is a raw take, and I'm limited on time today because I've got a level 10 meeting that I do with my co-founder Evan once a week. That's in 26 minutes, and I got to prep for that as well. So I'm going to punch through this, give you all the good stuff, and then see you next week. But I just started posting twice a week. This episode is on a Monday, the other one is on Thursdays, and it's more of a lifestyle, I don't want to say vlog, but more of like what actually happens in my life. And so far the response was pretty cool. It's pretty much my most viewed video, which doesn't say very much. It's a couple of thousand views, but the response was really strong. So it takes a lot more effort to shoot and edit, in all honesty, but I think the cut through is significant too. So it's worth doing, especially as I build this career as a YouTuber. No, not actually, but just spending more time in the space and enjoying that process. So go check that out if you want. I think I gained like 50 subscribers off the back of that. So small numbers, but you think about the scale of that when one eventually does hit the right audience, the algorithm picks it up. And at the end of the day, I really believe YouTube is a science. Like I consume a lot of Mr. Beast. I consume a lot of Paddy Galloway, a lot of these guys that talk about just at the end of the day, it's human psychology. It's like what actually captivates someone or makes them want to watch a video. So these episodes, the longer talking ones, not a great example of that because that's not my intention is to go viral, but this one's more authentic, just trying to get everything out of my brain into the world to look back on. So here's a quick update. The last few days at home before we fly to Spain for a month. You guys know most of that update, but we leave on Thursday at about midnight. So far this year, Art of Mondays has done 80,000 revenue since we launched 3.5 months ago. We just hired 3 video editors on performance to basically help us scale up our content output. And this is something I talk about frequently because it's basically our main growth strategy. The flywheel I'm looking at is create organic content, get that out in the world, create demand as a result, and then make a product so good that people want to talk about it. And that flywheel, that simple action of just creating content, making a good product, is just going to build huge momentum over a long period of time. And that's kind of the play. And there's a guy called Isaac, I don't know his last name, but he runs a brand called Mini Katana. If you're on Twitter, Twitter e-commerce stuff, you've probably seen him. And he basically, Mini Katana is like a replica sword brand, so they can't run ads because they're classified as a weapon. So he had to go the organic content route, and he basically built systems. At one point I read he had a house out in Austin, Texas with a bunch of full-time creators that just shot content all day, every day. That's all they did. He was burning like 20-30 grand a month on this content system, but the effect of that, the compounding effect, was huge. He now gets 1 billion views a month across all his platforms for that brand, which is nuts. Like you think about the scale, 1 billion views a month is fucked up. And YouTube, I think, is about to hit 10 million subscribers in like 2 years. So you think about, like I said, the compounding effect. Yes, it's a big cost to set up. Yes, it takes a hell of a lot of commitment, a hell of a lot of time, a team. But once that's dialed and that system is repeatable is probably the word. It's crazy the scale that you can get with something like that. So I'm not necessarily looking to build out the exact same thing, but obviously just building content systems is just like so worthwhile in every sense. So that's something I just think a lot about, and me in my role in the company is just to think a lot about, to come with good ideas and to problem solve and to think creatively and think marketing. So that's why I look at people like that. So last week I sat down, one of the editors that we hired happened to be in Perth, so he actually came here. It's sort of almost become a tradition. When I brought Evan, my co-founder, in, he literally slept on the floor here on like barely even a mattress for like 2 days. He's from Melbourne. And we just sat here and we just wrote ideas, and we just kind of brainstorm stuff. And so when the editor came in, he's from Perth, so he didn't have to sleep here, but same thing. We sat down here for most of the day. We just wrote ideas. We kind of built out a lot of content, a lot of the content plan, and he led a lot of that process too. So it was kind of cool to be a bit more hands off, and let him take over. So we'll see how that plays out over the next little while. Like I said, we hired a couple of others to edit as well. They're not in Perth, so we just got to build out the system for them to get involved. And then the plan is to be posting 3 times a day across a couple of different accounts. And then I'll just keep up with my personal YouTube and personal stuff alongside that as well. So yeah, lots happening on that front. We also had 2 of our member group calls. So I believe we have 3 or 4 that happen a month now. I facilitate all of those. So what that is, for those who don't know, is within Art of Mondays, which is a membership of founders, we pair people into smaller groups of similar stage founders. So either similar industry or similar traction, and we get on facilitated group calls, with anywhere from 4 to 8 founders, and I host those. So I have to be very present, very diligent with that. I have to really lead the conversation. I feel a lot of pressure because I feel like I need to make sure everyone gets value, and it's a hard thing to do over a sometimes 3 hour conversation, which happens once a month, and then we do that with a few different groups. And so I always, going into that with a little bit apprehensive, but also excited because I get to learn so much in that process. And, more than anything, selfishly, I almost think it's the best job ever, because I'm technically getting paid just to learn from people smarter than me in most cases. So I've said that before, but I was going to share some of the takeaways in this video, but I'll save you the time watching, and instead you should go subscribe to our Monday Mail, which is a weekly email that my co-founder Evan writes, and he's a much better writer than me. It's a lot more put together, and basically in Monday Mail we have it's pretty concise, but we just pump a bunch of value, things that we've been talking about within the community, updates from Art of Mondays, and just a couple of questions to ponder about life and whatnot. So I will put a link in the bio below if you want to check that out. It's literally just an email subscription, and not even subscription, it's free. It's an email newsletter. So go if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing and get some value at the same time. He sort of breaks down what happened in those member calls, or at least some of it, because we can't share everything. So that's that. As for life, we had a Spikeball tournament the other week, I suppose, and that's a sport that we play a lot with friends. And Flynn and I, my brother and I, we ended up getting second to Liam, who lives with me, and Pricey. So they always seem to win for some reason. But I think Spikeball, what that taught me is, what sport taught me is, it's okay to fail in public. And it's interesting, a friend of mine the other day asked me, how do I move on from things quickly and sort of, without holding grudges or without holding baggage, and just move into the next thing and start things. And I honestly think it comes back to competitive sport, because you're forced to fail in public. You're forced to get up and go again. And that's such a blessing for me, having grown up playing sport. So Liam's just walked in. You want to say hi?
The vlog?
This is the Monday Diaries. Just telling him how you beat us in Spikeball.
So we actually versed this guy in Spikeball and smacked him. So pretty much, if he ever talks on here about sport and being the best out of everyone, he's definitely not, because we have overcome him many times before. So yeah, stay humble.
The one video I have of the day was a rally where we beat you. So I'm just going to say that was the whole game. What was I saying? Yeah, competitive sport, a blessing. Much like growing up gaming as a kid, I think that's also a huge skill set that transitioned into business. And I've been training a lot. I've been probably 5 days a week in CrossFit. A bunch of the boys are training for a triathlon in Spain. I'm not doing the triathlon, but I might run a half a marathon or something instead, just to get amongst hard things. But I'm enjoying CrossFit for now. And that's pretty much it for me. That was pretty concise and to the point. So appreciate you being here. Subscribe if you want to see more about what I'm working on, and also the Thursday videos, which I'm shaking it up. They're pretty cool, and enjoying that process. And I hope you start fucking with Mondays too. Peace.